is Realism. Realism started after a published work of French poet André Breton, Manifesto. So, what is realism? It is and one of the type of magical realism. Definition of realism: it transforms us, take away us from the world of reality. It is an artistic movement. So, it is the type of realism now. So, first, I like to differentiate between surrealism and realism. Both surrealism and magical realism use a mix of realism and fantastic elements. The main
Right.
difference is that the object of the magical realist is to being a fresh presentation of the everyday world we live in, and surrealism take us to another world, one which is unreal, exists only in our mind. What is the features of realism? Dream-like scenes and symbolic images. Like इसमें हमें अजीब व गरीब जो चीज़ें ऐसी चीज़ों को जमा किया जाता है जो कि हमारे ख्वाब में आए या फिर कोई images आए, unexpected illogical juxtapositions, uh, bizarre assemblies of ordinary objects,
Hmm.
personal iconography,
Hmm.
uh, and wheel puns, childlike designs, wheel artwork, creating strange creatures from everyday objects, developing paintings technique. So अब इन फीचर्स को आप जब मैं वर्क में बताऊंगी तो सब ये एक्सप्लेन हो जाएगा कि ये कैसे फीचर्स यूज होते हैं surrealism आर्टिस्ट के वर्क में.
Right. Okay. Which particular work you have selected
एंड
for
वर्क
this?
सर्रियलिज्म के दौर में जो थे लोग वो फोटोग्राफी के थ्रू, पेंटिंग के थ्रू, फिल्म मेकिंग के थ्रू और राइटिंग के थ्रू सर्रियलिज्म में सर्रियलिज्म का काम अपना शो करते थे. सबसे पहले एंडर ब्रेटन जो कि राइटर थे और जिन्होंने स्टार्ट भी किया इस सर्रियलिज्म का, उनका वर्क है फ्रीडम ऑफ लव पोएम. उसमें उन्होंने कहा कि मेरी बीवी की जुबान ऐसी है जैसे एक गुड़िया की आंखें खुलती हैं और बंद होती हैं. मतलब कि उन्होंने ये यूज किया फीचर क्रिएटिंग स्ट्रेंज क्रिएचर्स फ्रॉम एवरीडे ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है
Hmm.
कि उन्होंने ऐसे अपनी बीवी की जुबान को तशबीह दे दी गुड़िया की आंख से. फिर उन्होंने कहा टंग ऑफ माय वाइफ हैज अ टंग ऑफ अनबिलीवेबल स्टोन, वो स्टोन जो कि अनबिलीवेबल हो. और फिर उन्होंने कहा कि मेरी वाइफ के आईब्रोज ऐसे हैं जैसे एक जैसे swallows का नेस्ट हो. इससे हमें पता लगता है कि सर्रियलिज्म के आर्टिस्ट और जो भी थे वो कितने क्रिएटिव माइंड थे. वो ऐसी चीज़ों में शेप दे देते थे अपने वर्क को कि जिस पे बंदा बिलीव ही नहीं कर सकता. क्रिएटिव. उसके बाद हमारे पास हैं फोटोग्राफर उस वक्त के जो कि मशहूर हैं मैन रे. उनका काम बहुत ही नायाब था. ठीक है और उनके काम में है हमारे पास फोटोग्राफी गिफ्ट में उनका जो वर्क है उसमें ये है कि एक आयरन है मतलब स्त्री, उसके साथ कांटे लगे हैं. देखें ये कितना क्रिएटिव है, हम इसे एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं कर सकते कोई ऐसे भी कर सकता है. और फिर उनका एक दूसरा वर्क है ग्लास टीयर्स, मतलब एक औरत है रो रही है, उसके टीयर्स कौन से ग्लास के. फिर हमारे पास आ जाते हैं पेंटर जो कि मशहूर पेंटर थे जिन्होंने सर्रियलिज्म का यूज किया. वो है हमारे पास सल्वाडोर डाली. ठीक है उनके पेंटिंग है हमारे पास जी लैंडस्केप विद बटरफ्लाईज. मतलब लैंडस्केप विद बटरफ्लाईज हो सकता है क्या, लैंडस्केप में पहाड़ होंगे बादल होंगे लेकिन वो क्या उन्होंने बटरफ्लाई को यूज किया उसमें. तो ये हमारे पास सर्रियलिज्म में आता है. फिर उनका है सेकंड वर्क हमारे पास पोर्ट्रेट ऑफ डेड ब्रदर. ये भी थोड़ा अजीब है. और थर्ड उनका बहुत ही फेमस वर्क है प्रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ मेमोरी. ये वर्क सर्रियलिज्म में बहुत उनका फेमस हुआ. उसमें क्या है कि बताया गया एक पिक्चर में कि वॉच है, एक ट्री है उसके साथ सॉफ्ट वॉचेस हैं. इसमें प्रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम के बारे में बताया गया. फिर हमारे पास फोर्थ पे आ जाता है उस वक्त के फिल्म मेकर जो कि मशहूर थे लुइस बुनियल जो कि
Um,
इंस्पायर्ड
um,
हुए हमारे पास
can,
एंड्रो
can I
ब्रिटन से.
interrupt you for a while?
यस सर. यस सर
Yes,
प्लीज.
everything is okay, but you are supposed to speak in English.
Okay. First, fourth one we have a filmmaker, which his name is Louis Buñuel. He show his work on surrealism on the base of movie Ancien Andalo. This movie is so horrible. I open to explain. I open to want to see and explain you after that. But this movie is so horrible. I first saw this movie. He was snatching her woman eye, so I closed this movie. So I prepare all this, sir.
Okay, okay. So, do you find any kind of similarity or dissimilarity between magical realism and surrealism?
Yes, there are lots of things like magical realism and surrealism is kind of same thing ना. तो मुझे इसमें हकीकत से चीजें मिली हैं, जैसे हमारे पास ये क्या होता है पेंटिंग के थ्रू
Hmm.
प्रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ मेमोरी, इसमें
Hmm.
मुझे लगा कि
Yes.
ये है
What is main
बस.
difference between magical realism and surrealism?
ओके, मेन डिफरेंस हमारे पास ये है कि द मैजिकल रियलिज्म हमारे पास चीज़ें वो बताता है जो एवरीडे में यूज़ हो.
Hmm.
में हो.
Okay.
जी.
Hello.
यस सर.
Okay. Have you done?
जी. यस सर.
Okay. So, a main difference between surrealism and magical realism, that magical realism is although about some magical events which are, even though they are based on reality, but surrealism is a kind of fantastic, that representation of the thing which is always a kind of odd or strange kind of representation of the thing, that we
जी.
have debated this thing just in previous class in detail. Okay, it's good
यस.
enough. Okay, who would be second one to present?
Sir, me, Mariam Zamir.
Yes, please.
Uh, Starting with the great name of Allah, who is the most merciful and the most beneficent. Today, the presentation of my topic is realism. Realism is the movement in the history of English literature, and this movement of realism started basically in mid 19th century in English literature.
Hmm.
Realism is the kind of a reaction against romanticism.
Hmm.
Now I am telling about idea of romanticism. Romanticism was a kind of a reaction against traditionalism, or more importantly, it was a kind of a reaction against the age of reasons and sense and sensibility. Now, before romanticism, there was the age that was known to be the age of reason and the age of sense and sensibility. It was also called the age of science. Why it is called the age of science? Because writers, peoples, they believed on the reasons. And now I'm telling the important reasons. They were taught about scientific discoveries and so on and so forth. After this age of reasons and sense and sensibility, they can another reaction against the age that was romanticism.
Hmm.
And romanticism was a kind of break from reasons and writers of romantic age. They gave important emotions. They talk about fantasy. They talk about romanticism. They talk about idealization. They talk about the variation of the life, version of life that was not present, but it was image. Now, realism sometimes also called as naturalism, because natural is the real are the same things. And now it was the little bit discussion about the realism. Now I am telling the features of realism. The most important feature of realism is it has transparent language.
Hmm.
What is transparent language? Now I am telling you simple and natural language. This is known as to be transparent language. You know what is talks about the reality. Definitely writers, they write in a natural language, real language. They write in a simple language. They do not use the emphatic language like the language of John Keats. For example, beauty is truth and truth is beauty. For example, hot melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. These are philosophical sentences. So, realist writers, Unlike romantic writers, they use simple and natural language. This language is known as USP, transparent language. Example of transparent language, we say that the Urdu we speak in our daily life is like a transparent language, because transparent in the sense that it has no metaphorical meaning. We do not use metaphorical use it. I don't have an idea about science that is transparent. Both in terms of style and context, the language is transparent. Now I mean that realist writers, they do not philosophical things, they do not problematize the things, they do not romanticize the things, they do not fantasize the things.
Hmm?
Realist writers is just like a photographers who does capture the pictures, that the picture is where the object is without curling, without enhancing the beauty. And now I am telling the realism with reference to the different literary texts.
Hmm.
First of all, I give the example of Alexander Pope, who has written the beauty and beautiful and masterpiece title of Rape of Log. The Rape
Hmm.
of Log is a story about a woman. सर थोड़ी सी उर्दू बोल लूं?
जी जी
सर इस स्टोरी में ये होता है कि उसके जो बाल होते हैं उस के वो काट देते हैं, और इसको बाल को काटने की वजह से ये जो दो फैमिलीज होती हैं उनके दरमियान एक बहुत बड़ी टसल आ जाती है, एक वॉर स्टार्ट हो जाती है, जिसकी क्या इतने स्टार्ट हो जाता है सिर्फ इस बात से कि बाल क्यों काटे गए हैं. नाउ द थीम ऑफ द रेप ऑफ लॉग इज that has to create a ruling class. They used to focus on a minor things. They used to ignore serious and major things. जो रेप ऑफ लॉग जो है ये खूबसूरती के साथ इसको माशरे की इसमें अक्कासी की गई है, माशरे को प्रेजेंट किया गया, इसलिए ये बेस्ट एग्जांपल है रियलिज्म की.
yes
और सर सेकंड एग्जांपल भी दूं या बहुत है?
yes okay it's enough you I have a question to ask you. So, what do you think that if we, that critically analyze the movement of realism, so do you find any kind of flaw in this literary movement, any kind of demerit of this movement, the writers who write under the influence of realism?
सर
Hello?
क्वेश्चन को दोबारा से जरा बताएं.
मतलब रियलिज्म की आपने फीचर्स तो बताए ना कि it's a
यस
kind
सर
of
मैंने.
reality based projection of the things, and you have
यस
also
सर.
given example of rap of Locke as a based on realism. So is
यस
there
सर.
any that criticism on this movement of realism on the part of critics?
Sir, I don't know.
One of the critics has said that the writers who always write under the influence of realism, they are just like photographers and they just reproduce the thing and they don't create the thing. You know that when
Yes, sir.
there is a lack of imagination, lack of that creative power, then there is
Yes,
a
sir.
reproduction of the thing. तो ये एक major
Yes, sir.
charge है इन पे ना.
Yes, sir.
Is
बिल्कुल.
that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
fantastic, good. Next one, who
Thank
is
you, sir.
next? Welcome.
Wow.
Who is next? Savera server, Khanzeb, Tehmur.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yes, present your topic.
Okay, sir. Sir, I want to present my topic on realism today. Sir, here realism is, we can say that literary movement of realism started in mid 19 literary
Mhm.
movement. It is a literary movement like romanticism, like modernism, like postmodernism. So
Mhm.
it is like that, and it is the kind of reaction against romanticism. And now we can say that the realism writer write the life as they are. They don't want to um,
Want to exaggerate the things.
sugarcoat the thing, sugarcoat the thing, and as they are. Realism is also known as naturalism, because
Mhm.
natural and real are the same things, we can say. And
Yes.
realism writer use transparent language and mean it as a simple language, real language. They don't use the language which is prestigious on that time, but use the real language of that. These writers don't romanticize the things, and just like मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि जैसा है वैसा ही बयान करते हैं, don't romanticize the things. They are just like a photographer, we can say. They capture the photo what he is, and they don't apply any color but real, clear, and image. These writers show real issues of the society, we can say political issue, economical issue, any other, like any other. The things are presented in a realistic way. So uh, other are talking about the way of life. And realism objectivity is focused rather than subjectivity. इसमें हम realism में सर writers objectivity को focus करते हैं सर, and
Mhm.
realism individual lives for social world.
Yes.
Yes sir. And now a literary work, there is a literary work sir.
Yes.
I
Which
got
one?
it from Google. Sir
Okay.
Stephen Crane write a novel in 1895, in Civil War novel, The Red Badge of Courage.
What is the title?
Told the real, but sir, the Red Badge of Courage.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir Stephen Crane ने लिखी है ये novel 1895 में sir. Sir, इसमें वो told the real story, but previously untold story of life on battlefield, sir.
Mhm.
The Red Badge of Courage, sir, that novel, which is set during the Civil War, is a good example of realism, sir, we can say. Because Crane's novel depicts the realities of wars rather than an idealized heroic version of soldier in battle. इसमें सर उसने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सर रियल मतलब रियल चीजों को डिस्क्राइब किया है
Yes.
सर।
You
किसी
mean
चीज को उसने आइडियलाइज नहीं किया।
that the writer has realistically described the disasters and the damages due to war.
यस सर उसको बड़ा
Okay.
चढ़ा के बयान नहीं किया है सर, जो रियल है उसी उसी तरह बयान किया है सर। एक यंग बॉय की कहानी को उसने बयान किया है सर।
Okay. So, what do you think that
ओके
is it a fruitful technique of realism to project the things through the medium of literature?
सर क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं आई सर।
मतलब ये, do you think that this technique, this movement of realism is
यस
fruitful
सर।
in order to convey the things in a realistic way?
Yes, sir. ये तो sir, I we can say that it's a fruitful because sir, literature is something to describe the society, to focus, to mirror the society. When we copy the things which they are, so
Hmm.
we can copy the real society rather than like we cannot be sugar coated that.
No, we can do it. You know that literature, after all, deals with creativity, the idea, and the exercise of imagination. But when we talk
Yes, sir.
about social issues, then this
Yes, sir.
realism is, that very much helpful in order to project the
Yes, sir.
things effectively.
ये तो मैंने आपको सर मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि इस पर हर सम वी कैन सर सोशल इश्यूज मतलब पॉलिटिकल इशू, इकोनॉमिक इशू, इस पर हम भी कर सकते हैं सर। इसमें
Okay, okay.
हेल्पफुल है सर।
Very good, excellent again. Who is
थैंक
next
यू
one?
सर।
Next, please.
थैंक यू सर।
Welcome. Marie Mijaz.
Yes, sir.
Just please present your topic.
My topic is same realism.
Okay, do speak on it.
Okay, sir. first of all, I would like to define the realism,
Hmm.
that what actually the realism is.
Yes.
So, realism is a movement in art which started in the mid 19th century in France and later it spread to the entire world. Realism entered literature at almost the same time, and its real objective was to root out what is called
To
fantastic
to
and
write
romantic.
out rather to wrote out. To write out.
Sir, to root out.
Wrote is the second form, na? It basic M was to write
Sir,
out.
root,
Okay.
sir, root R double O T root.
Art. Okay. 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 It's okay.
It was its real objective was to root out what is called fantastic and romantic in literature and art to
Hmm.
insert what is real. So
Okay.
now you get the point.
Yes, I got.
In literature, writers use realism as a literary technique to describe story elements such
Hmm.
as settings, characters, themes, and etc., without using elaborate imagery or figurative language such as similes and metaphors. यानी कि सर जो राइटर्स हैं वो इस टेक्निक को ज़्यादा बेटर तरीके से यूज़ करते हैं अपनी राइटिंग में रादर कि वो सिमिलीज यूज़ करें या मेटाफोरिकल लैंग्वेज यूज़ करें वो इसको ज़्यादा फोकस में रखते हैं इस चीज़ को
Okay.
through realism writers explain things without decorative language or the sugar coating events and realism is something opposite to the romanticism or idealism ये कि जो स्टार्ट हुआ था इवेंट ये एक रिएक्शन था which is against to the romanticism or the idealism
Okay. Just
तो
come to the
इस
literary text with reference to
yes
realism.
सर फर्स्ट लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट तो वही है द रेप ऑफ द लॉक बाय अलेक्जेंडर पोप
Okay.
क्योंकि ये बेस्ट एग्जांपल है रियलिज्म की इसमें पोप हैज रिप्रेजेंटेड द डिटेल्स ऑफ द डेली रूटीन ऑफ सच
Hmm.
जेंटलमैन एंड वुमेन इन एन अम्यूजिंग वे जैसे बेलिंडा एंड लॉर्ड पीटर आर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स ऑफ दैट सोसाइटी
Hmm.
and Pope describes Belinda's preparations in front of a dressing table in an amusing way and in an ironic way. Many
Of
people
course.
consider her dressing table a sacred place of worship. He gives minute details of how ladies are concerned to enhance their beauty by artificial methods.
Okay. He
ये इसमें
gives minute
realism
detail to that character. That's okay. What's next? I
next
mean,
sir literary text is Adam Bede by George Eliot,
yes,
which
Adam
is
Beat
the
by
best
George Eliot.
example of it is the one of the best examples of Victorian literature that
Okay.
aims to highlight social realism.
Okay.
इसमें जो सर realism include है वो है the elements of realistic representation है highlighting the poor people and reflecting on their problems by setting them in the rural background and presenting their religious and moral sense. सोशल
Okay.
गैप भी इसके अंदर था another issue सोसाइटी के अंदर था जो कि राइटर ने एक्सप्लेन किया है कि जैसे हैटी एक कैरेक्टर था उसमें who
Hmm.
belonged to a working class and was madly in love with Arthur और
Hmm.
जो कि feudal class से belong करता था this held a certain charm for the people of working class कि feudal class के साथ लव था उसको इसको हैटी को तो वो चाहती थी कि वो उसके साथ आर्थर के साथ शादी करे ताकि उसको इज्जत मिले यानी कि वो पुअर क्लास से बिलोंग करती थी ना तो शी
Okay.
वांटेड टू मैरी हिम विद
Yes, please.
यस सर
Yes, please.
to be the wife of an honorable feudal man. However, her fantasy was destroyed in the novel. हमें आखिर में पता चलता है कि वो
So
क्राइम्स करती
this
थी
is the
जिसकी वजह
point.
से
Okay. Where her fantasy is destroyed and shattered down and
destroyed.
collapsed.
Yes, sir.
So do you
Yes,
think
sir.
that this is the real phenomena that often people like Hattie who are fantasizing the thing and their fantasy, that never gets fulfilled, and rather that a dream is shattered and collapsed, and this has been
Yes,
realistically
sir.
represented in the novel.
यस सर टू सम हाउ, क्योंकि उसने वो उसका अपना कैरेक्टर जो था ना वो बहुत क्राइम्स करती थी और इस टाइप का कैरेक्टर था उसका, तो
right?
वो अपने लिए जो फ्यूचर देख रही थी वो बहुत ब्राइट देख रही थी ना, तो इस तरह
Hmm.
नहीं हो
So
सकता
there was
रियलिज्म
a
इज।
clash between ground reality and between dreams.
यस सर एग्जैक्टली।
Hmm. Okay, okay. That's good. Okay, nice, excellent. Next, please.
थैंक यू।
Who is next? Akib Khan is there.
Yes, sir.
Aisha. Okay, you are going to present your topic.
Yes, sir. My
Okay,
topic of presentation is modernism.
okay, modernism. Yes,
Start
please.
kuru.
Yes, please.
Before we are going to modernism, we have to know about that what is modern and what is modernism. Okay,
Okay,
modern is something that drifting from the other things means that each generation drifts from the parent and the drift is called modern.
okay,
If you are considering the English old, middle, and then modern from 1400 onwards, which Chaucer began writing in English drifting from the medieval, that is called modern.
right.
And the Chaucer is called the father of modern English.
Hmm.
Now, modernism is a movement that's began in 1900 where faith is absolutely absent. Why the faith is absent?
Okay. Why the
There
faith
are
is
some
absent?
reasons.
Okay, what are the
There are
reasons?
5 reasons. The first one is how the people lost their faith on God.
Hmm.
When Charles Darwin write a paper and published a paper on evolution, he says that everything in this world is a natural process and God cannot help you in any situations.
Okay.
From there, the people lost their faith on God. Am I right,
Hmm.
sir?
Right.
And the second one is when the people lost their their belief on king. The reason that when Karl Marx presented a paper and the people started to and lose their hope from the kings when Marxism came into being, and he says that the suffering of the lower class is because of that king and that our peoples.
Okay, you mean that this concept of modernism is known to be modern because it deviates from earlier ideas which were established, and now people they started thinking in a new way. They started introducing new ideas, as you referred to, the Darwin and Karl Marx and so on and so forth. So on account of
Yes,
these
sir.
new
Sir,
innovative
here I am
ideas,
telling that
okay.
the people लोगों ने जो है ना सर वो faith को जो है ना वो ट्रस्ट करना छोड़ दिया था ना पहले मिडिवलिज्म में तो ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट जो लोगों का इंटरेस्ट होता है वो faith पे होता था गॉड पे होता था किंग पे होता था ना सर
Yes, 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 you're right.
तो फिर जब मॉडर्निज्म और ये आ गया ना तो फिर लोगों ने उस पे इंटरेस्ट गॉड पे किस लिए इंटरेस्ट छोड़ दिया सर लोगों ने कि क्योंकि चार्ल्स जब आया तो उसने कहा कि खुदा तो कुछ नहीं करता ये जो है ये नेचुरल प्रोसेस है और लोग बनते हैं और फिर ये दुनिया का निजाम चलता
Mm-hmm.
है
He, that introduced
फिर
a secular and scientific idea about
यस फिर जब
universe.
किंग जब मार्क्सिज्म की थ्योरी आई तो उसने कहा कि किंग ये जो बड़े लोग हैं ये तो नीचे को कहा जाते हैं ना सर
जी जी बिल्कुल.
फिर वहां से फिर वहां से एक डिबेट शुरू हुई फिर एक इंडिविजुअल का सिगमंड फ्रॉइड ने जब इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ ड्रीम पेश किया तो उसने कहा कि
हाँ,
हमारी जो कॉन्शियस लेवल है वो 10% है ना सर
okay, Sigmund
एक
Freud.
आइसबर्ग है यस सर
बिल्कुल,
एक
exactly.
आइसबर्ग है और देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ अनकॉन्शियस एंड सब कॉन्शियस लेवल व्हिच वी कैन नॉट सी एंड we deviate when we cannot have control on it.
Very good.
तो यहाँ पर लोगों ने फिर इंडिविजुअल पे जो है वो भी फोकस करना छोड़ दिया और फिर डेमोक्रेसी पर जब पहला वर्ल्ड वॉर हुआ 1940 से 1918 तक
Mm.
तो वो भी डेमोक्रेसी की वजह से हुआ तो लोगों ने डेमोक्रेसी पे बिलीव और फेथ करना छोड़ दिया था
Okay.
और फिर जब आखिर में साइंस पे आया तो साइंस में भी सर लोगों ने बिलीव करना छोड़ दिया क्योंकि जब पहली वर्ल्ड वॉर हुई और जापान जो तबाह हो गया तो वो भी साइंस की बदौलत था
Very good.
तो फिर तो लोगों ने कहा कि साइंस तो तबाही की जिम्मेदार भी हो सकती है, अगर ये तो एक तरफ अच्छाई के लिए होता है तो दूसरी तरफ तबाही भी ला सकता
हाँ,
है.
जैसे कि अभी हो रहा है जो मॉडर्न डेंजर ऑफ मॉडर्निटी, एक इम्पोर्टेंट थीम, दिस इज वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट थीम्स ऑफ मॉडर्न लिटरेचर, that where science has
Yes, sir.
facilitated us at doorsteps with many marvelous things, yet science has also
Yes, sir.
brought for us certain sources of destruction, and they are very terrible.
Yes, sir. Where
Okay.
modernism वालों ने कहा कि human should enjoy their own life, human are able to change the world.
Hmm.
And secularism, he said that women and men are equal. You have to give the rights to the women which they have in the society.
Good. So, what are the
And
literary texts which you have selected for with reference to this discussion of modernism?
literary text I have Heart of Darkness, sir.
Yes.
Heart of Darkness by Virginia Woolf.
Not Art of Darkness by Joseph Conrad,
Yes, sir.
and
Virginia Woolf.
to the lighthouse by Virginia Woolf.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And अमेरिकन ड्रीम आता है सर इसमें, और फिर वो सिविलाइजेशन वाला के साथ है, 3 CS प्रिंसिपल है, क्रिश्चियनिटी है, कॉमर्स है और सिविलाइजेशन है.
Hmm. Means these
हाँ सर,
features of modernism can be
yes
seen
sir,
and explored and analyzed in these literary texts such as Art of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse, Arthur
yes sir,
Miller's Death of Salesman.
yes sir, yes
Okay, have you done?
yes sir.
Excellent, excellent. You have presented in a detailed way. Who is next? Sayyida Aman is there.
सॉरी सर, हमारी एक्चुअली कल से लाइट नहीं है तो मैंने प्रिपेयर नहीं किया टॉपिक.
Okay. Who is next? Muhammad Zishan, Shehzad Khan.
जी सर, ज़ीशान.
Yes, please. You may present.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My topic of presentation is modernism, and modernism is the rejection of traditionalism. Actually, now what happened in traditionalism? They were criticizing lower class people. They were everything in that traditionalism age was about wealthier people, and there was no scope for that lower class people or middle class people. Now, when it come to modernism, as this is rejection of traditionalism, so people start thinking, as lower class was increasing their rank, so they started writing against wealthier people, and they started criticizing those people. This age of modernism start in late 19th century, and it ends before Second World War.
Okay.
As this world, as people of this as people of this age, modernism saw World War One by their eyes, so their themes vary from the themes of earlier people. Earlier people were just writing on love and other things, love, religion, and other things. But people of modernism started writing about different things. They started writing about morality. They started writing about other things which were not common in traditionalism. The main
Right.
writers of this main writers of modernism were Thomas Hardy, who wrote poems in 20th century, Henry James, Joseph Conrad, J.M. Hopkins. As initially those initial ages were only in England, but people when they come to this age modernism, then people from different countries started writing literature, and a few of them came to England. The writers of England were D.H. Lawrence, Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, Dorothy Richardson, etc. James Joyce
So, do you
wrote.
think that Thomas Hardy is, that modern novelist, or is an Victorian?
Sir, he wrote poems in 20th century. That's why he can't be included in this modern age.
Okay, okay, okay. He wrote poems. Okay, okay.
Uh,
Carry on.
then James Joyce wrote Dubliners in 1914. This was a novel this was a book which consists of 15 novels. The book was written about moral history of country, moral history of people which were living in Dublin.
Okay.
That's all, sir.
Okay. So your topic was modernism.
Yes, sir.
So I have a question. What is the
Ji, sir.
most, that interesting feature of modernism for you?
So for me, the most interesting thing is that the people of lower class started rising and they started criticizing wealthier people so that there can be balance between wealthier people and lower class people, which gives scope to each class of society.
Okay, thank you. Good enough. Who is next?
Thank.
Yes, please. Assam Khurshid.
अस्सलाम सर।
Walaikum salam. Ji, please start your topic.
सर वो तो है, थोड़ा बहुत प्रिपेयर किया सर, लाइट नहीं थी, थोड़ा सा बैकवर्ड एरिया में मेरा घर है, तो थोड़ी बहुत
So you don't need
प्रिपेयर की
much
है।
preparation, I do believe. Just
कोशिश
start.
करता हूँ सर।
Okay.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। सर मेरी आवाज क्लियर है ना?
Yes, it's
ठीक
clear
है।
enough.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sir, my name is Hassam, and today the topic I would like to explain to you people is a magical realism. Na? Although
Okay.
you have given the three major topics, that is modernism, post-modernism, and realism. So magical realism also counts and also comes in realism.
Okay.
So, sir, should I start directly from magical realism, or I will explain a little bit about realism?
Just
Should I
start
proceed?
directly. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, magical realism is the combination of magic and reality, ना? सर
Okay.
एक्चुअली मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत मेरे डिटेल में चले जाता हूँ तो फिर 5 मिनट में नहीं होगी, फिर मुझे आपने टाइम देना है।
You would have enough time.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, the combination of magic and reality.
Okay.
ठीक है, sir. So, what is magic? Magic, something illusion,
Yes.
something that is hidden, that we do believe that exists in our reality. But sir, there is I think a difference between your opinion about belief and my opinion about belief, na?
Okay.
So why we believe that we see something, we hear something, and we witness something personally. That what that comes in the result, that will be a true belief, and we will say हल्फन हम कह सकेंगे कि हम इस चीज पर believe करते हैं और ये और वो. So let's just start. Magical
Yes.
realism or magic realism or marvelous realism is a
Okay.
style of fiction and a literary genre that paints a realistic view of modern world while also adding magical elements as well. Yani it is sometimes called fabulism as well. Yani in reference to the conventions of fables, myths, and
Very good.
mythology and fables, and a sort of a moral lesson that how to succeed in life, that is fabulism.
Okay.
And we can further say that it is a technique to represent magical, that is natural and supernatural in reality, that they do exist in our reality and the part of our reality, but that is hidden from a normal human eye.
Yes, they are
Okay,
there, but they are not visible, or
they're
at
not
least
visible.
they are believed to be there.
They are believed. They should believe to be there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just begin. In life, there are some mysteries as well in terms of describing the things. Now, that there are some mysteries which have not been solved yet, but do exist in reality. They do exist. So
Okay.
the topic or the literary text I've been prepared, that is the novel that was published in 1600, something that is